Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Menopause Matters. It is something that is so important to us to understand the effect of menopause, because even for me, I have trouble understanding what are the differences. How about all the myth that we hear on social media? It make me feel more scared than actually feeling like that there is a solution for it. So what's the best thing to do? Is to find an expert that who knows what they're talking about and to give us the correct advice on how do we manage this phase of our life that we will go through, but we don't have to go through it with fear. So my guest today is Cynthia Brace. Hi, Cynthia. So lovely to see you today.
I'm Martha. Thanks so much for having me here.
So Cynthia, tell us a little bit more about you.
Absolutely. I am a whole health and wellness coach for women in midlife who want to thrive. And I got into health coaching because I had a doctor once tell me that she couldn't help me, which I mean was true for what I had. And so I was a little frustrated and like didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, let me just figure this out.
Mm,
So while I was working full time, I went back to school and I did classes at the naturopathic college. I
mm,
became certified in Reiki and reflexology, and then I went to school for holistic nutrition. And so by the time I got to school for holistic nutrition, what challenges I was having were gone. And not only
mm,
that, my asthma and my allergies were pretty much gone as well. So I understood the power of working on, what you're eating and your lifestyle, what you're doing in your life, how much power that has over your body and your mindset. So, yeah, I've been working on this stuff for decades. And
mm.
so now as I go through this stage of menopause and midlife, it's what I share, and it's what I experience, and it's what I help people with. So it's near and dear to me. So that's my path.
That is beautiful because it is so true. A lot of us that, like, including myself, I'll be the first one putting my arms up, that we don't really look after ourselves in the right way, but we will look for solutions such as the magical pill to actually help
Yes.
us to go through a certain period. And it is true, we only get what we give in exchange. So we do have to understand that there are some things that we must do to be in order to get better. So let's talk about some of the myths that we have in menopause. Are the symptoms are only physical or
Absolutely not. That is a myth. Symptoms are not just physical. It's what's happening in our mind as well. We all know the physical symptoms: hot flashes, night sweats, weight gain.
mm,
But a lot of us don't consider this mental aspect. How are we feeling and what are we thinking about? A lot of people don't feel like, that they should be going through menopause. I don't know about you, but I still feel like I'm in my 20s, right?
mm,
Like it's like we have this mental, like we look in the mirror sometimes and like, what's happening? What's going on?
mm,
Right? So there's this mental aspect behind it of I feel one way in my head, but this is not what's happening physically, right? And then you see, movies and TV and, they depict midlife or menopausal women in this way that is doesn't have to be that way.
mm,
So we go into it thinking that it's going to be horrible and this, I'm going to be over the hill, right? And it's all downhill from here. So this is
mm,
all like all of these mental things that are going through our heads based on, what society is showing us. And, they put this belief on us that
mm,
it has to be that way or that it should be that way, but it doesn't have to be.
mm,
Right? We can use the power of our minds to say, wait a minute, hold on a second. I I get to choose. I get to
mm,
choose how I want to feel, and I have control over that,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So
So,
so
mhm.
yeah,
No, no,
we
no,
can
you go.
change this aspect of, wait a minute, no, I want my experience to be different. I may be going through something now and I may be having these symptoms, but How do I want to feel about it? What do I want to do about it? Do I want to have a different thought behind it? Do I want to have a different belief behind it? Because if I believe right now that it's all downhill from here, can I change that belief?
Mm,
I mean, that's up to each individual, right? And
mm,
this is something I talk to people all the time. Like, do you believe that it can be different, that it doesn't have to be that way? And if you do, great, then switch it. Yes, I can be healthy. Yes, I
yeah.
can feel sexy. Yes, right? So
Mm,
it's switching that belief. And if you don't believe it, then start with something you do believe.
mm,
Okay, it might be possible. Maybe it's possible. Crack the window open. Give yourself some moving space to have this mind shift around this time in your life, because it can be amazing.
mm. So tell us a little bit more about the process of starting to change that belief, because like I really wanted to look at some like concrete evidence that, okay, so what can we do in changing those beliefs?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it comes first from awareness.
Okay.
Become aware of what you believe. Okay.
Hmm.
And I do this with clients all the time. And so, do you believe that it's possible to be fit and healthy and sexy in
Hmm.
midlife?
Hmm.
Martha, do you believe that?
Yes, I actually do, even though I'm not very healthy. So keep going.
But again, you have the mind. Okay, so you have that belief. You've cracked that window.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you here who think, no, no, I don't believe that.
Mm,
Okay. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm saying if you want to move towards being more like Martha and I, who believe that it's possible,
mm,
crack a window in such a way that maybe, if you can believe maybe it might be possible, if you believe that, if you can believe that, that's cracking the window. And then you can
mm,
move towards, yes, I do believe it.
mm,
Now, the way we believe it, you say, but you're not there yet, but you
mm,
believe it's possible.
mm,
The way to move into actual bone deep belief, I believe it's possible, is to build the body of evidence that it's true,
mm.
right? And to
Yes.
do that, you need to do the little steps to get you there, right? But
Okay.
first, we have to start here. First, we're starting with the awareness. Yes, I have this belief. And now, what do I do to actually make it physical,
Mm,
right?
good.
So now we move into the things that make those beliefs actual reality,
Hmm. Such
right?
as?
Oh, well, we'll go into that with some of the other myths.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because like I would love to like have more concrete evidence on it, on like, what are some of the things that we can do. So when listeners are hearing it, they can say,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I hear
Okay.
Cynthia saying about that. That would be amazing. So I can just follow what she say.
Yeah. Well, realistically, Martha, it comes down to lifestyle. It's not one thing that's going to help everyone. Okay.
Yes.
We are all unique, beautiful people, all
Mm,
of us. And we've all had different life experiences,
mm,
different things happen in our experience with regards to our health, with regards to what's happening in our bodies. Right.
mm.
So every solution is going to be slightly unique. I don't like to put on, here's your answer, that's for everyone, because it's
Yes.
not true. It's never going to
Yes.
happen that way. But yes, there are certain things that you can do that move you towards where you want to go. Obviously, it's what you're eating. You have to
Mm,
start with what you're eating, right? Because we
mm.
eat a lot.
Yes.
Right? So either we're eating to support our body, or we're eating things that aren't going to support our body as much. It's not going to give
Yeah.
us the building blocks that we need for our hormones to do what they need to do,
Yes.
right?
That's
And
correct.
I mean, I'm stating the obvious here. Everybody
Mm,
knows that, right? I
mhm,
get it. And you're like, yeah, I've heard it, but how do you do it? Right?
mm,
I hear you. So,
mm,
I have a program that helps with that. But it starts with healthy eating, because that is your foundation of health. That is your building blocks, right?
mm,
Movement, yes. Sleep, yes. you know, all of these other stress relief, big one, right?
Mm,
All of these other things are a part of your lifestyle, but
mm,
you got to start somewhere,
yes.
and it has to be baby steps,
Yes.
right? If I talk about all of these things all at once, the stress and
Yeah.
the sleep and the like movement, like it's like overwhelm. That's
Yes.
adding stress to your life.
Mm, mm, mm,
So I like to bring people back. Okay, start with your foundation.
mm,
Eat. How are you eating? Right?
mm, mm, mm.
Let's eat hormone support, and it doesn't have to taste bad. A lot of the people is like, oh, healthy eating. Like, yeah, I know, broccoli. It doesn't have to be broccoli, and it doesn't have to taste bad. Like I've had people
Mm,
comment, I feel like I'm cheating, right? So that's a diet mentality, but we talk about that. But it doesn't have to taste bad. You can eat, healthy food and you're like, this is awesome. I mean, it happens all the time, right? Like, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to, do the things that people are, saying that's obvious. Yes,
yeah.
because it is the foundation of your health, right? And
Yeah.
that's why I focus on it first, because without that, anything you do is just a stopgap,
Yeah.
right? If you take, supplements, or if you move, a lot of people think weight loss is more about exercise. It's not.
Yeah.
It's about what you're eating and
Yeah.
then how you move, right? It's
Yeah.
it's what you're putting inside you. And I'm not saying not to eat treats or birthday cake, because
Mm,
I'm the first one there, man.
yeah.
I love chocolate. But it's how you incorporate it into your life, right?
Mm,
And there
that
is a
sounds
way to
good.
do that where it doesn't feel hard or overwhelming, and it can be just a part of your life. The way you
Mm,
do it, Martha, and the way I do it, again, totally unique. And it has to
mm,
be, because it's your life.
mm,
It's my life. It's everyone's. You have to do it in a way that works for you. And that's
yeah.
what the most important part is.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's more tailor-made to a person because I have such a picky eating style that a lot of the things that I actually don't eat. So being able to know that, hey, even that you have a picky taste bud like myself, you can still find the things that you enjoy eating. So is it because that like weight gain is a given during this menopause stage? Like I have heard from our different experts that we our body do need different things during our menopause stage. So, but I can hear a lot of women in our group saying that, oh, I put on this way, I may be going for menopause and things like that. So, what is your answer to that?
Weight gain is not a given.
Yep.
It is not a given. That is a myth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our bodies are changing, and our hormones, insulin and cortisol and estrogen and progesterone, all of these things are changing.
Mm,
Uh, Certainly everyone knows estrogen starts lowering, and that's, causes, this cascade of effects, and it actually changes where your body fat. So you eat extra calories, and then, it's now being stored. When we're younger, it's being stored in our hips and our butt area, because that's to make us look curvy, because it's in our fertility time. And,
mm,
genetically, that's how, the process happens.
mm,
As the estrogen starts to come down, it's now going to just move that extra fat, whatever, it's going to move it to your belly,
mm,
right? So as we come into our 40s, that's what's happening. So now we're like, okay, well, I used to do these things,
mm,
but it's not working anymore. And now it's coming here instead of going here.
mm,
It's just the way it's going to go, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to gain weight, right? It's
mm,
now just this awareness. Okay, what is coming? What is happening? And what do I do to help that, to help
mm,
support my body changes, right?
mm,
So we can start eating more estrogen foods. We can support our hormones by reducing stress,
Mm.
right? Do you do too many things, Martha, right?
I have
All up
13
until this
appointments
time? Do they,
today.
right? So many women put themselves last on their
Mm.
list of things to do, right? So a number one thing that you can do is to like, hold on a second, what's going on here? What is the most important thing,
Mm.
right? That if you don't have it, you're going to have a tough time, right?
Yeah.
Your health,
Mm.
right?
I hear you. I hear you.
So it's like when you take a flight and they talk about put your air mask on first if it comes
Mm.
down from the ceiling. They tell you that because you can't help anyone else if you're unconscious,
Yes.
right? It's the same thing with your health, the
Mm.
exact same thing. So when you're putting yourself last and you're depleting yourself and you're always tired and you're irritable and you like you can't be the best for yourself and you can't
Yeah.
be the best for other people too, right? So that's
Mm.
why I say, I mean, we should be doing this our entire lives, but certainly by the time we get to this phase where our body needs us to like really help support it, now is the time to like, hold on a second. Let me look at my schedule and let me figure out me. Where am I in my schedule?
Mm.
And that's why I tell people you need to put yourself in your schedule. Like
Mm.
literally, this is what I'm doing. And if somebody says, I'd like to, oh, I actually have something booked right there. Can we book it another time? They don't know
Yeah.
if it's for you. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
a good tip.
yeah, I mean, weight gain isn't a given. And by focusing on you, you can make it happen that it doesn't happen,
Mm.
right? That you can maintain your weight, that you can, be healthier. It's making those appointments with yourself and actually knowing what to do during those appointments is the key, right? You need to
Yeah.
know what those little steps are, right? How you're moving. And that's another little thing that I always use. Don't call it exercise. Oh my,
Mm.
that's a mindset. Everybody has this negative connotation towards exercise. Call it movement. How am I going to move today?
Mm.
Right? How am I going to move my body? Because I want to, because it makes me feel good, because my body
Mm.
likes it, because I do. Right. So yeah, making time to like figure out what am I going to eat this week so that I'm ready to go. How am I going to move? What am I going to do for fun? Right? How am I going to relieve stress? Am I going to like go to this cool meditation class that's like down the street, meet some new people and get my Zen on? I don't know. Everybody's different. You have to,
Yeah.
there are these little steps that you can take and they all correlate to weight gain.
Cool. So I see that there's a lot of pills and supplements in the market. They are targeting us that who are in our menopause stage. What is your view on them? Like, I know that they won't be taking all your symptoms away. That's one of the big myths there. But are they helping? Should we be spending money on it?
I like the fact that you said that they won't take all your symptoms away because yes,
Mm-hmm,
that is a myth. There
mm-hmm,
is no one pill that is going to help with everything. And
mm-hmm,
that's menopause, whatever you have. There's
mm-hmm,
there's there's no magic pill.
mm-hmm,
Okay? It's your life, it's your lifestyle, it's what you're doing. Can
mm-hmm.
they help?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm.
Definitely they can help. I am a big supporter of, you know, good quality supplements.
Yes.
The quality has to be there. And the other point to that is make sure that you know what you're taking
Mm,
and why you're taking it.
mm.
I see so many people and they give me the list of what they're taking. I'm like, okay, so what's this one for? Oh, I'm not sure. My friend said it was good, so I started taking it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's, I mean, helpful people and all. Yes, I love that. When you're talking about supplements, it's think of it as medicine as well. Food is medicine, right?
mm,
How much you're having. Herbal teas are medicine. If
mm,
you're having medicinal doses, that can change things. So these things are medicine as well. If you're taking too much iron, that's not great for you,
mm.
right? Things like B vitamins that you'll pee those out. So it's not as concerning if you overdo it.
Yeah.
But with supplements, I do recommend getting an expert opinion on what is great for you,
Mm,
especially during menopause, because there are things that, you may need, you may want,
mhm.
that may be helpful, that may not be helpful. You don't want to waste money, right?
Yes.
So you have to know, because what I would take, Martha, would be different than what you would take,
Yes.
because we're different people, right? And I know that you see these strings on social media of hundreds of people saying it helped me.
Mm,
And I get that, because there may be one ingredient in there that they need,
mm, mm, mm.
right? But some of the others, anyways, those are hard. Yes, I get it. And some people are helped by these, and hands down, I'm like all for it. Great. If it helped you, I love it.
Mm.
How long are you taking it? What is the dose? You know, what else may you need that would help you, right? So those are the questions you want to ask.
Yeah. So do you recommend us going taking a blood test before we're looking at what supplements that we're taking?
Uh, yes. I'm going to
Mm,
start with yes.
mm,
I definitely always get my clients to go and I give them a list of certain things,
mm,
HbA1c, iron, B12. These are
mm,
things that, hormone, well, no, I wouldn't say hormone for women are
mm.
low, B12s, B vitamins,
Yeah.
iron. HbA1c is the amount of your insulin level over the last
Mm,
3 months. Let's see how close you are to the diabetic
yeah.
marker. Um, so there are certain things that, and vitamin D, and those are certain
Mm,
things that I ask them to make sure their doctor puts on there. There are other things that we look at as well. Definitely blood tests are good to look at, because
mm,
if you're low in B12, you're tired. If you're low in iron, you're tired,
mm,
right? So that's a good place to start. When you're talking about hormones, the blood tests aren't, the doctor won't necessarily have those tests for you. They can test
mhm,
progesterone and estrogen. They may or may not, depending on your doctor. There's a great test called the Dutch test that you can do that really does your hormones over the 3 days, and that gives you
mhm,
like a really good picture. So there's a bunch of different testing that you can do depending on how far you want to take it and your
mhm,
unique self of what you
mhm,
need.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's a definite starting point.
That's good to know because we all need that starting point and what's and I always suggest people to do it in the professional way so they don't get in
Yes.
trouble later. Only
Yeah.
trust those one that who are trained in the area, like expert Cynthia here. Otherwise, that there's no point into just following what the social media say. Because how many things that we have bought from social media and it turned out to be a sham? Okay, it has been like that for a lot of people. Yes, of course, it will work for some people, like Cynthia here just said, but it may not be suitable for you because all our body is different. Everyone is different. So we do need to look at our own individual needs to make sure that we find the right path. Thank you, Cynthia, for sharing some of the beautiful tips and something that we can follow and the direct instruction of what we can do towards our menopause. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we end our session today?
Well, thanks so much for having me here first, Mar. Thank you. It was wonderful to be here. I just want to add that, this is our life. And I know everybody's looking for that quick fix and that, like, how do I do this fast? But, let's consider, this is for the rest of our lives. So if we get something that works, if we find that solution, it may take a little longer to do, but it helps us for the rest of our lives. That's going to help you more than any kind of quick fix that you do over and over.
I love that. Yes, because I am definitely a quick fix girl. So to know that, hey, you know what? If I want a long-term effect, I do need to look after in a more serious manner. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Cynthia, for sharing your expertise with us. It was wonderful chatting with you today.
Thanks, Martha, for having me here.
Thank you all our listener and audience who has been following us on our podcast as well as on our YouTube channel. We welcome all women over 40 to come and join us to in this safe community for you to get the knowledge that it will support you to help you to overcome certain life challenges and also to help you to feel better during your menopause phase. Thank you once again for listening, and I look forward to see you next week.